What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. If you want to see the daily Ravens content, please make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But in this video, what I'm going to be talking about is the most intriguing position battle for the Baltimore Ravens in this offseason. And I think a lot of people are like, what? No, the positional battle is going to be Proche versus Myles Boykin. Let's be honest, okay? Whoever ends up being the wide receiver 6 is not going to be playing very much during the season. Whether it's Boykin or Proche, the amount of snaps they get is not going to be a lot. Like, they're not going to be playing. So, like, yeah, it's a cool battle. It's something to pay attention to. Who makes the roster, that type of thing. But in my opinion, the wide receiver 4 spot is the most intriguing position battle. And the top 3 wide receivers are obviously Hollywood Brown, Sammy Watkins, and Rashad Bateman. However, it comes down to Devin Duvernay and Tylan Wallace for that wide receiver 4. I don't think it'll be Myles Boykin, obviously. But with that said, which one is going to get that spot? And I think it's a very intriguing thing because the guys are relatively different players. What they bring to the table is going to be different for the Ravens. And I'm a big fan of both of them. I think they're both going to have success in the NFL. But let's kind of go into, overall who they are. And obviously comment down below who you think will be the wide receiver 4. And if you think it's the most intriguing position battle on the roster. But yeah, so looking at Devin Duvernay, he's been here longer. He's very, very fast. I'm going to say it right now, he's the fastest player on the Baltimore Ravens. He's faster than Lamar at top speed. He's faster than Hollywood at top speed. He's one of the fastest players in the NFL. Does not get any recognition for it, but that's besides the point. Like, this dude is a world-class sprinter. Absolutely insane. His high school 100-meter dash time was like it was in the 10.2s. DK Metcalf ran like a 10.3, 10.37. So faster than what DK ran, and he ran that in high school. This dude's a world-class sprinter. Doesn't get any recognition for it, but obviously crazy fast. He's also very, very physical. He's got great hands, and his yak ability is top tier. He's probably got the best yak ability on the Ravens outside of the running backs. If you count the running backs, then I'd say J.K. Dobbins. But Duvernay in the open field is a monster to take down. He's also our kick returner, so that obviously helps him in terms of getting a spot on the roster. But like I said, I don't think he's going to be too worried about getting a spot on the roster. But in terms of route running, not the greatest route runner of all time. He can get the job done, but he is a good slot wide receiver. But now let's look at Tylan Wallace. Tylan Wallace coming in, obviously a 4th-round pick. Very, very flashy. His biggest strength is his jump ball ability. Led college football in the 50-50 category. And he is absolutely unbelievable with the ball in the air. He's also got pretty solid route running. Now, he's not a Rashad Bateman, but he's got good route running. And he's got very good physicality after the catch, less so than Duvernay, but he is still physical after the catch, but he doesn't have the maneuvering ability of Devin Duvernay in the open field, in my opinion, from what I've seen from him. So looking at that, here's my takeaway on it. I think that Tylan Wallace is going to be the wide receiver 4. However, I think that Devin Duvernay is going to be playing in this offense much more similarly to how he played at the University of Texas, in the sense that I think he's going to become a wide receiver running back hybrid. The Ravens only have 2, I'll say, competent running backs on the roster. No offense intended towards our guy, Justice Hill. I just see him as a special teamer. Don't really see him as that guy that's going to really help us out in the running game or even coming out of the backfield catching the ball. Devin Duvernay is a guy who played a fair amount in the backfield in college, who could come in and be like, oh, wow, it's a 3rd down situation. Lamar lines up next to Duvernay. He could still hand it off to him. Duvernay ran the football. We've seen him on jet sweeps. We've seen him run the ball just in college. He ran the football out of formation. He was just lined up at the running back spot, ran the ball pretty well. And that's something that he could bring to the Ravens. But also, he could come in as another wide receiver that could still get snaps, especially, as like the backup slot receiver. That's an intriguing spot. I don't know exactly who will be the slot receiver. I see a lot of people saying they want Hollywood Brown to get into the slot because he's smaller. Sammy Watkins could maybe play the slot, even though he's a bit bigger, but he's a solid route runner. Rashad Bateman, very good route runner. I don't see him really as a slot wide receiver, so we'll have to see where they go, how they do it. Maybe they just line Mark Andrews up a fair amount in the slot. Like, they could do a lot of things, but I think he'll also be the primary slot wide receiver. But with that said, he'll probably get the same amount of touches as Wallace in a fully healthy system. Because obviously we do have some injury-prone wide receivers on our roster, not just Sammy Watkins, but also Hollywood Brown. Now, Hollywood Brown is like, he'll miss a game, then he'll play, then he'll miss a game like 5 weeks later. Not something, Sammy Watkins will be like, oh, he's out 5 weeks. But, we got guys where it's like, okay, we need somebody to come in. I think that guy will be Tylan Wallace coming in to be that guy, unless the guy that gets injured is the slot wide receiver, then Devin Duvernay will step in. But overall, I think in terms of wide receiver depth, I think Tylan Wallace will be the 4, just because in terms of the wide receiver aspect of the game, I think he's better than Duvernay. Duvernay is more, however, a gadget and explosive option that the Ravens can utilize. Hopefully more than just saying, oh, here's your one jet sweep every 3 weeks. Like, no, like actually get him the ball, get him some screen passes, put him in the backfield, run him the football. Like, so many things that you could do with Devin Duvernay. I'm very excited, but like I said, this is the most intriguing battle because wide receiver 4 will get playing time, whether it's because of injuries or just wide receiver 4s get playing time. Like we saw what Devin Duvernay was doing last year as the wide receiver 4. And he was coming in, especially towards the end of the year, he was coming in a lot. But the problem was there was like a kind of wide receiver 4 because there was also the Dez Bryant situation, how much we were playing him. So there's a lot of guys that we were kind of shuffling in and out. But this year, I think wide receiver 4 get a lot of playing time or get a lot of snaps. And I think it's going to be Tylan Wallace, but I think Devin Duvernay will become a hybrid. I hate to say gadget piece, but he's going to be I'll call him an open field specialist. We'll try and get him the ball in the open field. That's all he's going to be doing for the Ravens. Get him the ball in space, boom, let him go to work. Let him use that world-class track speed to score us some touchdowns. But let me know down in the comment section down below your thoughts on Tylan Wallace and Devin Duvernay, who's wide receiver 4. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content, and I'll see all of you again tomorrow.